Brian and I met in the 6th grade. He was the first boy I ever kissed.
We actually dated in the 6th grade, oddly enough, so it's hard to kind of remember back that far. You know, she was like one of my first girlfriends, if not my first girlfriend, so we go all the way back.
And I crushed on him all through middle school and high school. Brian and I actually stayed friends for that entire time, and it was actually in high school that he escorted me on the prom court, which was pretty amazing.
We kind of hung out in high school for a while, and then we didn't see each other or talk for quite a few years. And mutual friends kind of brought us back together, and she texted me from a trip she was on in San Diego at a brewery. She was at Ballast Point Brewery, which, as you know, as a beer guy, she was kind of showing me the list of things that she was drinking, and I thought, man, I think I really like this girl. She's drinking good beer. You know, I haven't seen her in forever. She looks awesome, and so we just kind of started talking back and forth, and then we just recently reconnected.
The first date was at Basso at the Cheshire, and we met for drinks, which took a couple probing on my end to get him to actually ask me out.
You know, we met up, and I was a wreck, man. I hadn't dated, and you know, been busy with the kids, and I was just nervous. And I thought, you know, we haven't talked in forever, so she looked beautiful, and I felt like I was kind of out of my league. And then again, we started talking, and it was just like going back to old times.
And we completely caught up, and it was like I was meeting up with my best friend again. 20 years had passed that we had actually like interacted with each other, but it was like as if it was just meant to be.
You know, it's one of those things you don't expect to happen that way, and it just did. We both came at life from two different angles, I think, over the years, and yet it was almost like we were meant to kind of run into each other again, and we were just comfortable, and it worked out.
So it took us 26 years to reconnect, which was pretty awesome. I realized Brian was a keeper probably 2 months in. We were out on Saturday. I don't even remember what we were doing on Saturday, but I remember having the conversation with him and saying, hey, tomorrow I have to serve at church, and I'll have to be there at 8 o'clock in the morning. It'll take me, you know, 2.5 hours, and I'll be home around 10:30. And we can go to brunch and just hang out, but you can sleep in, no expectations on your part. And he said, no, I'm gonna go with you. He was adamant that he was gonna be there with me. And sure enough, the next morning, 8 o'clock, he's there with his coffee in hand, helping make more coffee, greeting all of the people coming into church as if, you know, he has been a member there forever, and no one knew who he was. It was hilarious. And he was like, hey, good morning, good morning. That's when I knew, like, he didn't skip a beat, and that was an awkward moment for him. It's not something that came naturally to him. That wasn't his safe place. It really showed what it's all about, is doing something outside of your skin for someone else.
Probably the moment when I realized that, you know, she was a keeper. There was a time when she was coming over to cook, kind of get the kids off the bus and cook dinner for the kids, and I was running late from work, so she was going to get them and get dinner started, and it was really the first time she had come over to the house to get the kids off the bus, and they saw Jennifer's car here and got excited and kind of ran into the house. And so she starts, you know, making snacks for the kids. She makes these Italian nachos that are just amazing. And so she's going through all the effort of making the chips and baking them and putting everything together for her and I. And the kids were supposed to go to the sitter, so she ends up making nachos for the kids. Well, the kids kind of take advantage of her being over for the first time and say, hey, can our friends come in? Which, you know, typically doesn't happen right after school. And Jen said, yeah, I don't really know how these things work, so sure, whatever. And so half the neighborhood is in the house, and she texts me as I'm on my way home and says, hey, the kids are here. And I'm like, well, what do you mean the kids are here? They're supposed to be at the babysitter. She's like, yeah, half the neighborhood's here too. And I thought, she's just joking, you know. And so I said, okay, well, I'll be home in a minute. I get home, and there are literally 4 of the neighborhood kids, our 3 kids. There's like 7 kids in the house. She's got Italian nachos dished out to everybody, and a smile on her face and a glass of wine in her hand for me when I get home. And I was like, all right, she's a keeper.
So the first time that I ever met the kids was we had a big party with all of our friends from high school and their kids, and so it was a perfect situation where there wasn't the pressure of meeting everyone all at once, yet we got to kind of feel each other out. The next day I brought over groceries, and we made lasagna and salad and all of the fixings for a family dinner. And they were a little standoffish at first, and sure enough, I was like, do you want to help? And their eyes just lit up and said, really? We can help you? And I was like, absolutely. Here's a measuring spoon. I need this much cheese or whatever it was. And it really just sparked something between us, and really our family dinners and our meals is a true family experience.
I'm most excited about all the family dinners that we're gonna have together.
Yeah.
My favorite thing about Mimi is that I cook cookies with her a lot.
And so that was the one thing. Jen created this themed week of dinners. And so trying to get the kids and the family around the table every night is always a challenge. And so vegetables are tough. You know, the kids really had a hard time with kind of stepping outside of their bounds of what they were comfortable with eating. And so Jen kind of put together this Meatless Monday and Taco Tuesday and Wacky Wednesday and Thanksgiving Thursday. So we have a lot of fun kind of playing with those different theme nights and coming up with new things to do in the kitchen and involving the family. And so we like spending a lot of family time together.
My favorite meal that Mimi cooks is Thanksgiving Thursday.
My favorite dinner is Thanksgiving Thursday because she makes mashed potatoes and green bean casserole. Taco Tuesday.
I like to tell you who's a better cook. Dad.
You know, for me and kind of reconnecting with Jen, that was a concern and a worry, is that will she like the kids? Will the kids like her? And it was the same thing. It was just a natural fit. She absolutely loved the kids. They love her. I mean, she's Mimi, you know. So it just was a great fit, and they absolutely love her. So.
I think what makes our dad the happiest is when, because he told us this, that every day he wakes up and Mimi makes him smile.
I'm most excited because Mimi's awesome and Daddy's awesome, and I know we're gonna do a lot of fun things.
Brian and I are most alike by the way that we fill each other's love cup, which sounds really stupid, but right after we first started dating, we both read the book, 5 Languages of Love, and it really talks about how each person really feels fulfilled in the relationship, and there's a quiz that you take with it, and Brian and I were spot on, exactly the same score throughout the entire thing. We both love quality time, so we really make a point every single day, no matter if I'm on the road or he has busy days or the kids are here, it doesn't matter. We always make time to make sure that we are filling each other's love cup with plenty of quality time.
She is my best friend, and I would say that's my favorite thing, is that she is somebody that I can tell anything to. No matter how rough a day may be, or how happy a day may be, she's there for me either way. So she is the one person that I can count on 100%. So if I'm falling, she's catching me every time. And so that's my favorite thing about her, is that I know she is always there for me no matter what. Jennifer, you are the best thing about me, and you compliment me so well, and you make me the person that I am, and I am so happy to marry you today. I love you.
Brian, thank you so much for fulfilling my life with everything, and I couldn't be happier with you and becoming your wife today. I love you.